Okay, so welcome back, guys, to Hangout number 3. And again, my name's Don. If I haven't had a chance to meet you or speak to you in person before, I hope we get a chance to at some point in the future. And I look forward to seeing some of you guys here at Summit next week in Nashville. That's certainly going to be a memorable event. It's really going to be great. So looking forward to it. But tonight, we're really excited. We have with us two of our big team leaders in call it my organization, Team Euphoria. We have Shannon Price, who was a Diamond coach, started Team Synergy a couple years ago, and we have Bonnie Sharf, two-star Diamond? Two-star Diamond coach with Team Dream Believers. And these two coaches, in my humble opinion, are probably the best, at least in my organization, at really running engaging challenge groups ongoing in a way that they are continually hitting Success Club. Bonnie, we found out today, is a Success Club legend. So she's actually the first Success Club legend on our team, which is really cool. Although I take that back. I think Renee is as well. Renee Teller, she's not here right now, but I believe she is also. But becoming a Success Club legend means that she has hit Success Club 24 consecutive months. So that's an incredible accomplishment. Shannon is a Success Club. Shannon, you're a Success Club All-Star, correct? Yeah, and you were on your way to that legend status too. So the point is, these two coaches, Bonnie and Shannon, consistently hit Success Club month in, month out without fail. And it's because of how they are so dialed into not only their continual invitation process, but also running challenge groups that work, that get participants engaged, that keep people excited and motivated to achieve their results. And when that happens, when the people that they're coaching get results, they know better than anyone that it results in referrals. It results in people wanting to perhaps become discount coaches or become coaches who have seen enough by being involved in their challenge groups that they go, I want to do this. I know I can do this. I'm a product of the product. Sign me up. I want to be part of your team. So they're building their businesses organically, and that's how successful coaches grow in the long run. And there's no right pace to achieve your success. Some coaches come out of the gates so fast. You got coaches that will achieve the rank of diamond in less than 2 months. And it's like, wow, how did they do that? What are they doing? They're going to be so successful. Believe it or not, quite often when that happens, those coaches sometimes fall off. It's like they have this immediate success in knowing how to recruit coaches to their team and quickly get themselves a little organization. But then it kind of is like a house of cards that comes crumbling down because they're not doing the essential basics month in and month out to keep that house getting bigger and stronger and so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to build a team if that's your choice in this business. Some coaches just run challenge groups and they say, I'm good with that. I don't want to build an organization. But more often than not, when you're running challenge groups successfully, you will quickly realize how your business can grow organically and you can very easily recruit new coaches. So before we get to Bonnie and Shannon, I want to talk a bit about the invitation process that I talked about last week. And I'm not going to show all the documents and stuff that we went through last week, but it's really for the coaches that missed last week's meeting. So if you're not here right now, perhaps you're listening to the recording, when it comes to inviting people to your challenge groups, there is a multitude of ways to invite. And the good news is that the daily posts that have gone up in the past several days are from some really, really successful coaches that have shared their approaches for inviting. And I am finding this education, these videos that I'm sharing with you guys, I am largely finding through Google. I'm using Google more than ever to follow successful coaches, to go to their YouTube pages and see the learning videos that they've created. So if you want to learn how to build your business from the best, it's very easy to just follow them. Just go on Google and Google things like how to invite to a challenge group, how to invite to a Beachbody challenge group, the most successful strategies for inviting to a Beachbody challenge group, how to create engaging challenge groups, so on and so forth. Put it in Google, you'll have a whole library of stuff that you can look through for self-development. So that's where you can pull a lot of great ideas. But the point is, the most important point that I can bring to the table for you guys is that when you are talking to people about your challenge groups and inviting them to your challenge groups, do not make it all about your challenge groups in your conversations. Don't get all caught up with the excitement of your challenge group and what your challenge group is going to do for people. It's all good to do that at the right time. But that right time doesn't come until you've really gotten to know your prospects. And when it comes to getting to know your prospects, you really want to do that by asking them a lot of the right questions. You know, when you ask people questions about their health and fitness goals, about the things that have, you know, failed them in the past, about the programs they've done in the past, about what they're doing right now, what are their struggles with nutrition, what are the things that they would most like to change about their weight or their body or perhaps their health. All these open-ended questions are going to get people to open up to you about their challenges, their struggles, and the things that they would most like to change about their health and fitness. So as you get to know, are you guys hearing me? Because everything's freezing up on me. Wait a minute. Hello?
There he is.
There he is.
He's muted.
You're muted, Don. Unmute yourself. You're muted. There you go.
Sorry about that. Where did I lose you?
At the beginning.
Nice, Bert.
No. Just a minute
Wait,
ago.
Don will be right back. Sorry. Yep.
I said, let's record now.
Yeah.
My Zooms get screwed up too.
Great. Where did I start to cut out?
It was just like 30 seconds ago. You were talking about the right time to talk to people about challenges.
Okay, good. So let me just make sure we're still recording. Yeah, it's still recording. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, the point about your challenge groups and getting excited about your challenge groups and the wonderful things that your challenge groups are going to do for people, that excitement and energy should come after you've gotten to know your prospects. And the prospects, you know, getting to know your prospects is all about a really careful questioning process. You know, the questions that you want to ask them, you know, did you hear me give the sample questions already? I threw out a bunch of sample questions. Did that come through?
No, I think
Okay.
that was muted.
So it's really asking people about, okay, they're obviously their health and fitness goals, but it's also asking them about what's worked for them in the past, what hasn't worked for them in the past, what are their biggest challenges when it comes to healthy nutrition on a daily basis, what are the things that they would most like to change about their bodies, their weight, or perhaps their overall health. You know, just get to know your people before you start offering up solutions via the products and your support as a coach in your challenge group. The more you get to know your people through genuine caring questions, the more they're going to build a rapport with you and start to establish some trust. This is especially true when you're meeting strangers for the first time. You know, how many times you might be out and about in your community, be it in the grocery store or the bank or wherever you might be, and you just hear people in conversations about maybe where they go to the gym or maybe the challenges they're having with their weight. It wasn't too long ago I was at the airport and the check-in attendant was talking about how tired she was all the time. You know, she had no energy throughout the day and she was working long hours. And, you know, just sitting there, I turned to her, I said, excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear you talk about your lack of energy. Are you eating good food throughout the day? You know, and you just ask it in a way they're like, well, actually, no. You know, it's just being genuine, being caring, asking questions. And I didn't go into, well, man, you should be drinking Shakeology. You know, let me give you my card and you can get Shakeology from me and it's really going to help you. It became, you know, I'm a health and fitness coach and I would love to talk to you more about why you might be tired throughout the day. There's probably some really good solutions that we can identify. I just need to ask you a few more questions. If I can get your information, I'd love to follow up with you. And certainly she gave me her email address and I was able to follow up with her. And no, she didn't become a Shakeology customer in the end. But the point is, these are the strategies you want to be doing day in and day out with confidence too. Don't ever feel like you're salesy. Don't ever feel like you're trying to sell somebody something and that's your ultimate goal is to sell them a product. Your goal is to help people. And in Caleb Thomas's video that I shared this morning, he's a really great coach educator. He asked that question he asked it of himself. He was role playing and he said, well, gee, Caleb, if I have somebody who wants to be in my challenge group and they're not going to buy a Beachbody program or product from me. Should I let them in the group? And without hesitation, he said, absolutely yes. Because what is your primary goal? To help people. So if somebody wants to be in your challenge group who hasn't bought Shakeology or hasn't bought a Beachbody program from you, but maybe they just like riding their bike every day, but they could use some accountability and motivation to do that day in and day out. Well, be that person. Be that person for them. And ultimately, more often than not, those people will come around and say, gosh, all these other people in your group seem to be doing really great with these other programs. Perhaps I should consider one of them. But because you took them under your wing to just offer daily accountability and support in achieving their health and fitness goals, no matter what they chose to do, that's a great way to approach your business. And you will continue to build a customer base as a result of that. So again, the invitation process really talks about it's a 5-step process, the 5-step invitation process. There's a guide that I put up there within the past several days called The Magic of Sharing Fitness and Changing Lives. You know, that's a really good outline and script to use as you are approaching people and asking them questions that will help you get to know them. All right. If any of you ever want to get on the phone one-on-one to talk more about the invitation process, I'm more than happy to do it. Like if you want to get on the phone and talk about challenges you're having with it, you know, maybe you're fumbling your words, or maybe you're finding that, God, I'm trying to do all these things and I'm not getting any customers. Well, that just means we need to take a few steps back and take a look at what you might be doing currently and how we can enhance what you're doing. So don't hesitate to send me a private message saying, Don, I'd love to set up a time to get on the phone with you to talk more about the invitation process. I'm happy to do it, guys. And for me, day in and day out, this is what I do. And I do this, you know, and I'll be open and honest with you. I personally have not run a challenge group myself in quite a while. Actually, I take that back. I'm running one right now that just started 2 days ago that is based out of my health club. Okay, I'm running a 21-day challenge group for the program Portion Fix. And we've got about 17 customers and coaches from our team that are in that group. But prior to 2 days ago, I hadn't run a group in quite a while because a lot of my energy and focus has been back in our health club here in Newburgh. We're going through a big growth phase right now, which is very exciting. We just cracked the 10,000 member mark. We have over 10,000 members. We're looking to do an addition to the building in the near future. So I've got my hands really full. So I'm looking at the team going, well, how can I continue to bring myself and my background? And it's really in this arena of talking to people about their health and fitness. That's what I do day in and day out here in the gym. I talk to people in a way that I'm not ever trying to sell them a gym membership. When people come in and they want gym membership information, we don't try to sell them gym memberships. We offer suggestions and help based on what their needs are. And in order to identify those needs, we're simply asking a lot of the right questions. That's my biggest takeaway for you. Ask questions, get to know your people, and then offer up your solution through your challenge group and the appropriate exercise program combined with Shakeology. That's your challenge pack sale. And the last point I'll make on this topic is that when it gets to the money, you know, you got to talk about the fact that, okay, my recommendation to you, you know, I'll just role play here. Amy, my recommendation to you based on our conversation is that we tie you into the 21-day fix program with our nutrition shake, Shakeology. Those two hand in hand in my group, my support group, are really going to get you the results that you're looking for. Okay, so the investment in that is going to be $140. And with that, you're going to get the support group, you're going to get the program, you're going to get your first month of Shakeology. So that's 30 days of Shakeology right off the bat. And the most valuable part of it, you get me as your coach. So I will be your accountability partner through this whole journey to make sure you see success. When would you like to get started? And that's it. You know, that's how you close the sale. But don't forget to emphasize the value of you as their coach. Don't just talk about the cost of the program. You're the most important component in that value proposition. You as their coach. That's free. that comes with the investment that they're making. And don't forget to place a lot of emphasis on that, okay? So, cool. You get yourself a few customers. You got your first challenge group ready to go. And maybe your first challenge group only has 2 or 3 people. It doesn't matter. 2 or 3 people in a challenge group can actually be really successful because you've got so much attention that you can give to those 2 or 3 people. You know, you build up a little camaraderie there with that little group, and you 2 or 3 of you are sharing your successes and challenges, and there's that day-to-day interaction. That's a very intimate type of a group versus I have 10 to 20 people in my group. Well, when you have 10 to 20 people in your group, it could be a bit more of your time being invested to work with the people that need that one-on-one attention at times. But it's also where you want to make the groups engaging and fun, where every day people are going to look forward to, oh, what is my coach posting in the group today? What am I going to be asked to do? What kind of fun stuff is going to happen in today's group? Because I'm really enjoying this. Like, I love the exercise program. I'm digging my shake. I love all the different recipes I'm hearing about in my group. But more than that, I love the camaraderie and the peer support and the leadership that I'm getting from my coach. So how do you make groups that way? And I believe that Bonnie and Shannon do a phenomenal job at it. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to them to just share how they've gone about not only running successful challenge groups, but also how they've gone about Bonnie becoming a Success Club legend and Shannon Success Club All-Star on her way to being a legend very soon. All right, so why don't we start? Bon, I think you're unmuted.
We're unmuted.
Yes, I am.
And I'll tell you what, you guys are both unmuted.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to play off each other, go for it. You know what I mean? I know you guys they're success partners. These
We're good at that.
are like
Yes, we are.
the pod. And I can't, like, when we get to Summit next week, this is the first time they're going to meet. I don't think I want to be in the same room.
Yes, Don's afraid to be anywhere near us when we first meet for the first time.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
really cool.
Bonnie and I have been partners for a couple of. We know each other really well, but we've never actually met. So.
Yes, so very excited to finally meet each other in
Yeah.
person.
So yeah, if you want to start, Bon, again, congratulations
Sure.
on
Thank you.
really an amazing accomplishment. That's like phenomenal.
Thank you very
How
much.
have you done that?
How I've done it is just really one word, is just being consistent. And that's really what I would like to get across to everybody, is that as long as you, regardless of the cycles, because we all go through the cycles, we have high times, we have low times in this business. No matter how frustrated you might get during your low times, no matter how many times people say no to you or say yes and then turn around and bail on you, even before they place their order when you were counting on them. You know, there's so many different scenarios that wind up becoming frustrating in this business, but it's part of it, and it's something that we all go through. So when you're going through it, just keeping in mind that this is just part of the territory, but then there will come a time where it's really exciting again, and sticking through it, sticking through knowing that it's going to get better, and you're just going to continue to stay strong and stay positive, and don't allow yourself to fill your head with negative thoughts and turn them around and just say, this is all part of it. And I know that every time I hear a no, I'm just getting closer to the next yes, and staying consistent, because there have been many times where, you know, I wound up having a slow month, and even though I was working my butt off and inviting every day and doing everything I was supposed to be doing, and I was a total product of the product, doing Focus T25, getting awesome results, and drinking my Shakeology and personal development and everything, and until maybe the 30th of the month, I had like an SC0. And it was so frustrating, but I didn't give up. And I remember that month because it stands out, because I can relate to all of you coaches that have had months where you're really frustrated. But as long as you don't give up and even push harder at the end, because I was like, making Success Club 5 for me, that's a non-negotiable. I will not allow myself to go through 1 month without making SC5, because to me, that's going backwards. And it's so important for me to keep pushing my business forward. So it's a non-negotiable. So I try to make it before the 15th of the month, just so I don't have to stress. But if it's a really tough month, then, you just keep on increasing the number of invites every day until you wind up reaching it. And then, of course, you want to keep going because you don't want to just stop. You want to get as much as you can, help as many people as you can, and move your business forward as much as you can. But some of the ways that I've done it, at the very beginning, I have to tell you, I used to try to do events and invite people to my events, and they weren't very successful for me at the very beginning. So depending on where you are in your business, your strategy is probably going to change. And you'll notice it when you notice different results based upon what you're doing. So at the very beginning, I would do an event, and I really wasn't getting much of a response. So I would concentrate most of my efforts on private messaging people. And that's where I was seeing, at the beginning, that's where I was seeing the majority of my success. I was sending out at least 10 private messages each day via Facebook. And whenever I would go out, in the real world, I would take the opportunities. I wound up inviting people when I was at the doctor's office. In fact, this is I'm sick right now. And I was just at the doctor's. I was at a walk-in clinic because my doctor's office was closed on Friday for 4th of July weekend. And I went to this walk-in clinic, and I was talking to the nurse who was, taking my blood pressure and everything. And she wound up sounding like she was really excited about the 21-day fix, joining my group with the whole program with Shakeology and doing the 21-day fix meal plan and workouts. And so she's now on my Facebook, and she's going to be messaging me. She just messaged me earlier today saying that she wants to join my group. So this is how it happens. You just take every opportunity wherever you are. That's what you just think about all the time. Or, taking opportunities where whoever you're talking to, whoever you come across. And it wasn't like that came up in conversation. I brought it up. I don't wait for someone to bring it up to me. It would be nice to start forming them and it just naturally come up. But I knew that I only had a limited period of time with her in the room, and I knew that she could use to lose some weight. So I brought it up, and I just basically came out and said, first we had developed a rapport already. We were talking and we had some things in common. And then I said, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that I happen to be a health and fitness coach, and I help people to lose weight and reach their health and their fitness goals. And if you happen to have any goals that you'd like me to help you to reach, I'd love to help you. And that was it. She immediately was so excited because she started to share with me that she had gone through gastric bypass surgery, and she's still needing to lose about 50 more pounds, and she really needs to start doing some exercise. And so I started to share with her about the program, and she was really into it. So we wound up getting onto Facebook right there, and that's just how it happens. So at the beginning, I was doing mostly private messaging, but now I really enjoy doing the events. I think as you start showing more consistency with people and start proving to people that you really are the real thing, that you're not just one and done, you're not just going to come out there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and then the next month, you're just gone. So because I've shown consistency and people have seen, some people posting on my page that they've gotten results, I think they've now trust me. So now when I do events, I'm getting more people joining them. And so, you try different strategies, putting it out there with events. Private messaging is always something that needs to happen regardless of whether you're putting it out there for the mass audience. You definitely need to continue to private message every single day, and then it will wind up happening as long as you stay consistent. And
Hey, Vaughn,
yeah.
so in the beginning, when you were doing, say, 10 personal messages a day, 10
Yeah.
personal invitations a day, which is really a great mark to strive for.
Right.
Who were these people? Who were all these people? Like that's a hefty number of people. Were you reaching back to people you knew from the past? Were you just constantly acquiring new contacts on Facebook? Like, how did you continue to build that that pool?
That's a good question. At the very beginning, I was just reaching out to all of my Facebook friends that I already had.
Okay.
Until I exhausted all of those. Angela was one of them.
Love it. Even people that were not really close to you, they were more like a
Right. Angela was a high school friend that I hadn't spoken to in so many years, since high school.
Love it.
And yeah, and so I reached out to, just people that were on my Facebook page. And she was always so passionate. Every time I would post something, she was always commenting about it. So, whenever people comment under your posts, those are the people that you want to definitely reach out to. And
Right.
even people who just like your posts, you want to reach out to those people.
Yep. And you do it in a way, to hit upon Bonnie's point, guys, with this, 10 individual messages, we put up some great education in the past several days on, the one from Caleb Thomas on how to send private invitation messages. But first, establish a little personal connection. Visit their Facebook page and find something out about them that you say, hey, congratulations, I saw the picture of you and your daughter's graduation and blah, blah, blah. And then it just segues into, by the way, I'm running this support group for health and fitness. And so anyway, thanks. That's good to know.
Yes, no problem. And so, at the very beginning, I was just reaching out to all of my Facebook people. And then I wound up exhausting all of them. So then I would just start friending new people. And, people, just random people who I saw had mutual friends. That's really where I get most of my new friends, is just the people. There's like a whole portion on your Facebook page that says people you might know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you have mutual friends. So if I have mutual friends, then I'll send them a friend request. And then if they accept it, then it's a good idea to start forming a rapport with them, non-Beachbody related.
That's awesome.
That really.
And do you personally have a like page, separate?
I do, but I don't use it at all.
So you basically, you are going through your personal Facebook page, and that's how you have found your success, which is all well and good.
Yes.
That's great.
Everybody does it so different. Shannon has really great success with her like page. And I, on the other hand, I decided after I created a like page, but I realized that it was just, to me, it felt like it was just duplication. I was just duplicating posts.
Okay. So on that note, and then we'll come back, Bonnie, because I know we're going to go into the challenge groups and how to make them engaging.
Sure.
And talk a little bit about your invitation process and how you do have a like page and how you're utilizing that.
Right. When I first started inviting people, I did this kind of same thing Bonnie did. So I did.
Who's that?
I hear something. I would private message people I knew, but I also sent emails out to people that I knew. I have a huge bunch of people I know just because of the things that I do. I'm a musician and I work in gyms and things. So I would send out emails to people I knew, and that was really super successful for me at the beginning. And then I find myself sending out emails to the same people. I'm like, I can't do that. So that's when I decided to start making events, because I make events for my band gigs, all the time. I'm like, hey, I'm going to do that for my Beachbody programs. So then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I have to come up with something clever. So I can't call it P90X Challenge Group. Well, no, I can't do that. So I would come up with some kind of clever name for some of my groups. And people would say, well, what is this? And when I was first doing that, I would talk about the program I wanted to do. Some people were interested and some people go, oh, you're just trying to sell me a program. So then, it finally sinks in that you really don't do it that way. You just talk about what's going to happen. Like, do you want to lose 5 pounds? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you get stronger? And then I would have people private messaging me saying, well, what are you talking about? And so everything feeds off of everything else, as long as, like Bonnie said, you are consistent. And as long as you are inviting, I know that I invite at least 10 people every day, if not more. And the people that like your, even if you don't know them, send them a message And we found out how to send a private message without spending $1 now to the people that we don't. And it's really effective. And sometimes it's like they don't respond at all, but they've liked your, like 3 or 4 of your posts, but they don't respond to you. So I can't read them. I don't know, because I don't know them. But there are so many different ways that starts to happen once you start getting yourself out there and people know who you are. I have over 6,000 likes on my coach page. I think there's like 6,400 likes on my coach page, and I have like 2,700 friends.
Okay, so here you have this continuing pool this pool that's continuing to grow of people that are liking your Facebook page. And so for those of you who are going, well, what do you mean liking her page? You have a personal Facebook page.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches will start a second, what's called a like page. It's basically a personal page that people will like. And it can be a page that represents something having to do with health and fitness. It could be a general health and fitness discussion group. It could be something that's more specific based on your background and maybe a specific audience that you're going to resonate with.
Right.
I'm not going to go into all the detail because I'm going to be sharing stuff in the upcoming days. I'm going to be sharing the concept of a like page. My wife has a like page called Willpower. And my wife is coming from a background of being hypothyroid and autoimmunity issues. And so she has these things that she's personally dealt with, that she has been doing research and nutrition counseling to help herself deal with that stuff that she's got to deal with. And in doing so, she decided to create a like page for people who are hypothyroid or dealing with autoimmune issues. She's just about at 10,000 likes. So now she has this, and she has not really been building her Beachbody business from it. This is just kind of a foundation that she's laying. But the point is, she has created a like page. She's got 10,000 people now.
I've sent a lot of people to that page because you would not believe the plethora of people with those issues didn't realize those were their issues.
That's right.
So I've sent a lot of people that I know and people that have been in my challenge groups. I send them to that page because there's so much fantastic information on that page. It's a miracle.
Yeah, she's really done a lot of research and homework. And the point of this, guys, is that Tammy, my wife, identified something about herself that she knew would resonate with a specific audience, that she could help that audience with free knowledge and information. She has not started inviting people at this point in time to challenge groups. She's done one in the past, but right now she's just focused on building up this like page of hers, and it's gone very, very well. She's just helping people. Yeah. Your like page would be very similar. It could be a general health and fitness page. It could be any specific audience that you might resonate with, maybe middle-aged moms who, are trying to lose 20 more pounds. Just think of who you are and the type of person that you would resonate with, that you might be able to help, or so that you would be able to inspire.
What's worked for me is finding, you have to think about who you are, like Don said, and you have to lay it out in front of you and look at it. And you have to choose those things that are going to draw people in. I draw people over 50 into my page because I want to target those people, anti-aging things. And from that, all of that came one of my a free challenge group that I have called Get Over It, which is Get Over It Your Age, that is. And that page is all information about how to stay young, how to stay moving, how to be 60 years old and look 30 years old, or all of that. And the women, there's mostly women on that page. They read, I put these long articles on that page and they suck it right up. They're like, bring me more, bring me more. They want to talk about hair and skin, and they want to talk about nutrition and how to get rid of belly fat, and how to build, why can't I get your arms? I want your arms, those kind of things. And so it's really fun. I can do a screen share on some of these.
Yeah, Shannon, I was going to say, let's do a screen share and just see what some of these look like.
Look here. Here's Bonnie and I have we have a really fun group going on. Right?
Yes, we do.
Let me tell you the story behind this group first. This group is called Summer Camp, and there's Bird. Hey, Bird. This group is called Summer Camp, and it started out as a boot camp, 21-day boot camp, which was here. So it started out as this 21-day boot camp.
Right.
Everybody in this group there's a lot of coaches in this group. But what's really cool about this page is the people in this group are all signing up as coaches. So we're like, that's the way we want it. And it started 21-day boot camp. Everybody in this group, for some reason, this went crazy. This page, it went ballistic. And so here's one of the things that I did. So for the first week and the second week, I did earn I can dollars. And so I can means that, yes, I can do my workout. Yes, I can eat right. So they had to post motivational posts. They had to do any of these things that you see here. And this is fake money. So they get $5 for each motivational comment you make, blah, blah, blah. They get $100 for signing up as a coach with your coach. So Bonnie, for instance, had Girly signed up as a coach. So Girly got an extra $100 for signing up as a coach. Anita signed up as a coach with me. She got an extra $100.
Are these these aren't real dollars you're paying?
No, these are
No.
but
They go towards prizes.
Oh, they go towards prizes. Okay.
So my prizes were packets of Shakeology, a Shakeology shaker cup, a Shakeology tote bag. You know how you get the single DVDs in the, you can get single DVDs in the Coach on and Office, like Tony Horton's on one leg workout.
Yeah.
Hip hop abs or something. So they were so freaking thrilled about getting a packet of Shakeology. I'm like, so I had prices. I don't know if I can find it. It might be a ways to find it. See, look all the engagement on this page though. This
has been an amazing group.
Yeah, go slower. I'd say it's all staggered.
Oh, go slower.
Yeah.
And these people are all friends now. These people live all over the country, and these people are all freaking friends. It's awesome. They don't want to leave each other, right? So these people, there's Girly and her husband.
There's Girly and her
this woman is one of my good friends. She's a doctor. She's a physician that lives in Ohio. She got in here and she was a little skeptical, but she wanted to do this program. She loves being around all these people. And everybody, Donna, she's awesome in these groups.
Look at the post, 30 miles biked and not even tired. The fitness program must be paying off.
Yeah, she's doing Insanity Max 30.
Oh, man, that's great.
So what happened with this group is we did our 21 days. And what Bonnie and I like to do, we do not leave people hanging after 21 days. So, or after 60 days, or after 30 or 90 days. We don't leave them hanging out there in the ozone like what am I going to do next? Well, we're going to put you in another group. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So Love Your Assets is my virtual fitness center, and Bonnie has a virtual fitness center. And then what we ended up doing with these people, we asked them, do you guys want to stay together? And they're like, oh, we can't leave each other. So we're like,
Yeah.
great.
They
take everybody out of
absolutely
this
have engaged with each other
Yeah.
and connected on such a level that they just give each other such support, and they're engaging every day, multiple times a day. They just love it there.
Yeah. So we said, well, we're going to move you to another camp. So the next one, actually, I called Summer Camp. Summer Camp. So this was Summer Camp, and they wanted to stay camp after 21 days. So after 21 days, I just changed it to Camp Sunshine. So we're just doing all these little summer things for 21 days. Every time it's 21 days. And I have little contests going on. I posted this today. I said, how many of you are doing the 21-day fixed meal plan? I'm suspecting that most of you have done it or are still incorporating it. So I said, look in your book and guess what calorie range I fit into. So far today, I put what I had so far today, and this is what I have left for the day. And I want to know who's going to win the contest. So, so Deb Bryce goes, look,
With their stickers.
So,
It's great. It's fun. It's fun. You've made it fun.
And then
The little animated, characters. I love it. This is the stuff that people just love. This stuff.
yeah, they do, and they're gonna talk to each other. And so Kevin is a freaking riot.
Kevin's a coach. In fact, Kevin's probably going to be watching the recording of this.
Yeah,
I want to see Bert's sweaty pic. Scroll down.
Look at his face.
Nice. Bert looks like he's going to kick somebody's ass.
Get out of Bert's face, man.
And this is Bert's first time doing Focus 225. This is his second workout.
That's why he looks like that. He's like, I'm so freaking. Ugh.
I mean, it was work for him.
Oh, heck yeah.
Started.
Heck
And
yeah.
Laura Wood is an awesome addition to this page. She's a coach.
Oh, wow.
She puts pictures like this every day.
He's in great shape. Yeah. See that?
She puts so
she
here's
pictures
some
like
of
that every
the
day.
for the day. Anita, she is so motivating. This woman has fibromyalgia. She has hypothyroidism. 11 years she's been living with this, and I've been trying for the last 3 years trying to get her to start on Shakeology, and she's always turned me down. Finally, she said, Shannon, she messaged me and she said, I have to do something. I can't even stand the whole day. And now she is, look at this, ready to do some cardio, then I shake them, and she's all over it.
Love it.
So excited.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's 3 years. 3 years, Shannon, right?
3 years I've tried to get her to do it, and she signed up as a coach.
I know.
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
And she's engaged as a coach too.
Yes, she really is. And so speaking of that, one more. Here's my age page. I call it the age page. Get over it. So this was a 1-day page, and so I said I can keep this group open only if you will participate. So I told them if they're not going to participate, I'm closing down the group. And they're like, no! So there's Holly. Holly's in there. So they want to stay open. They want to stay open. They want to stay open. And they're even apologizing for not checking the page lately. So I think that's pretty good accountability. See this woman right here, Cindy Edwards? Cindy was a free customer of mine. Beachbody, one of my free customers, and she was I think a Success Club customer, which is another reason to reach Success Club 10. Because
and sorry, Shannon, not to cut you off. Just on that note, guys, for the new coaches, the customer lead program is one in which when you're a Beachbody coach and you achieve the rank of Emerald, that means that you've personally signed up 2 coaches. So when you've personally sponsored 2 active coaches, you achieve the rank of Emerald. And when you are an active Emerald and you achieve Success Club 5 in any given month, you will start receiving customer leads.
Right.
Free customers are people that have bought Beachbody programs and have said, yes, I would like a free coach. So when that happens, they're assigned to you. This is an example. Shannon was able to reach out to that person, establish a connection, invite her to her challenge group, and here she is off and running. Very often these customers can go on and get results and become coaches. So this is another reason why you want to get to that rank of Emerald and achieve Success Club.
And it's very seldom that you actually hear back from them, but that doesn't mean you stop communicating with them.
Right.
So Cindy is a person that loves to talk. So she sent me an email as soon as I sent her, hello, I'm your coach email. She sent me like this long of an email telling me what's going on in her life.
Wow.
And so she lives in Wisconsin, which is like a state away. So we started talking, then we started talking on the phone, and then she's like, I need to get my husband doing this with me. And she signed up as a coach just right then and there after she'd already bought a challenge pack. So that was a no-brainer for her to sign up as a coach. And so she's been very engaged in the challenge groups, and she's never done anything like this in her life. She doesn't get on Facebook, and now she's always on Facebook.
That's great.
Posting with her little dog, And
did you have another page that you wanted to show? Because Bonnie, did you have a group that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I can show you my other page.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do my. Hang on a second. I got to figure out what I'm doing.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes. Yep. First question.
Any advantage of groups over like pages? Because I have a couple of like pages, and
That's two different
it's
things.
counterproductive to spend money on Facebook getting likes because
Yeah.
Facebook has edge rank, and they really don't show all the posts to everybody.
With
Sucks.
with a like page, Bert, it's the thing that makes the challenge groups more engaging.
Like-
The fact that anybody can post in the group. It's not like you don't own the group. So
Right.
you don't own the page per se. You've organized the group and you invite people into it, and then anybody can post that you've invited in the group, and that creates the camaraderie and motivation. Versus a like page is something that you stand for, you represent, and they're going to like your page. They're going to follow what you're saying on that page. But it would almost be it would be tough to run a challenge group through a like page. Not that you couldn't, but you're basically the only one that's going to be able to initiate the posts.
Yeah, because I have a personal, personality profile page, which I think 500 likes. And I bought most of those likes by spending money on Facebook and never really got much out of it for other things I do. And then I have 2 product-specific like pages that do better. But personally, I found that groups develop a better community feel than like pages.
That's why you have a group.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a group now that has over 1,300 people in it. And,
Wow.
Yeah, and I do weekly Zoom and conference calls, and it's going to be I see it much more profitable than doing Facebook ads. And I've done everything. I've done Google AdWords, Bing AdWords. I've done media buys on Yahoo and USA Network and all that.
Okay.
And I'm just having more success with groups than I did with my like pages. More of a sense of community, which is what I think Shannon had said. So
Yeah.
The group is very successful. The reason that Shannon has such success with her like pages, I think, is, well, she does a lot of promoting, but also all of the people who like her page, all of her posts are showing up on those people's feeds.
Right.
So all of their friends now sees all of her posts.
Yeah, good
whereas
point.
her group is closed.
Unless it's a public group, it doesn't show up.
Yeah, nobody else.
And I also, let me do one more time here. I also, just so you know, I've got 6,500 likes here, but because I have my about saying over 55 and helping you find your fit. So I have a target group set.
Target audience.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah, it's awesome idea. Target a specific niche with a like page and then draw an audience to it.
That's it.
And about every third post, I'll post a beach body, like I post coming soon. And this is from Automatic CEO, page from Automatic CEO. But about every third post, I'll do something like, here, I posted a health and fitness coaching opportunity right here. And I said, I'm looking for men 35 to 65 and older. So I got quite a few people of course, Andrea, I've got quite a few people liking it that I don't know. So I'm going to message all these people.
Yep.
So that's something that works on my like page. And not necessarily do I get a lot of people that want to be coaches and stuff from there, but I have had a few that want to, but a lot of people want to get to be my friend and see what I'm doing and get in the challenge groups and things.
Right. Did you want me to show you my other page?
Yeah, that'd be great fun. Yep.
Okay, so this is my challenge group that I had gotten started over a year ago. Oh, actually, I have to bring it back up. This was my current event. 1 second. All of a sudden it changed. Here we go. So this is my challenge group that I started this challenge group a year from this past February. So it's like a year and 3 months already that it's been in existence. When I first started as a coach, I actually was very intimidated about starting a challenge group. I had no idea what it was or what to do, so I'm sure many of you must feel that way too. And it really isn't very intimidating because Beachbody gives us everything that we need in order to post on our groups. So basically, you just create a group. you think of whatever name you want to name it. And even if you just start with just 2 people, I actually started with 2 or 3 people at the very beginning with my Focus T25 challenge group. And I still have those people in this group right here. And then it wound up morphing into a 21-day fix group, and then a 21-day fix meal plan / multi-fitness group, because everyone was doing the 21-day fix meal plan, but we started doing different programs, fitness programs. So it just kept morphing, and everyone loved the people who were in it. Same thing as the group that Shannon and I have right now. Everyone loved being together because they developed this camaraderie, and they really were connected and didn't want to leave each other. So I wasn't about to break up the group. So it just kept morphing. And since it started, I've had many people come and go, and it still has the same basic group of people that still continue to remain consistent in the group. So I'll show you a little bit. You know, I mean, like I said, it's been going on for so long, but this is the post from today that has 21 comments.
Wow. Wow.
And this is from today because all of these amazing women are so into supporting each other and wanting to keep this group going and to just be there for each other. Even if, you know, we all fall off at times, you know, over the past year and 3 months, we've grown connected to each other and want to be there for each other. Even when we fall off, you know, we know that we're there. So we're their support system. So there's Lori, and this Janice, she is one of my original. In fact, I think is my absolute original challenger right here.
Wow.
From day one, my very first person. The first time I ever posted anything about Beachbody, it was Shakeology, and she immediately responded. She gave me my first boost of confidence.
Love it.
Yeah, so this group is just an amazing group. But the thing is, everyone's journey takes a different path. So mine, you know, this group morphed into everyone wanted to stay together. Most coaches, from what I've heard, like to just do short-term challenge groups and then end it. 21 days or 30 days max, even if it's a longer program, and they end it and then start a new one. But this is something like Shannon referred to, a virtual fitness center that I'll always wind up keeping. Yeah. Because they don't want to separate, and I would never make them separate.
And on to Bonnie's point there, you know, this is just an ongoing multi-program challenge group that continually has new customers being welcomed into the group. It has the core members that have been together for, you know, a couple of years now, and they just continue to do workout programs and hold each other accountable. So this is a phenomenal concept. Let's say, for example, that, well, we know, you know, Size is coming out from Show and T, the new dance program. When they have a product launch and it's a brand new fitness program being launched to the world, that sometimes is a good idea to run a program-specific challenge group. It's brand new, it's exciting, it's kind of like, hey, no matter if you've done other programs before or not, let's all do this program together for 30 or 60 days or however long the program is going to be, because it's going to be fun and it's new. That's usually a good idea or a good time to do a program-specific group with a start and end date versus this is a never-ending multi-program challenge group. But I think this concept that Bonnie is showing here is probably the best way to go about building long-term success for your business. That's what I think.
And there's Holly. Holly's on the call. Shout out to Holly.
Yeah, awesome.
One thing I want to add to this too is that Bonnie and I both have used the challenge group guides that are in our back office. And if you'll notice in all of them going, we're not using anything from the challenge group guides.
Yep.
We're making our own posts every day. And that's not to say you couldn't do that. And as a matter of fact, when you're a new coach, you should do that, but you have to personalize it. And we've been doing this so long that we really don't use those challenge group guides very often at all. Now, when Size comes out, I've already talked to Andrea Williams. We're going to do a huge Size event where we try to get a bunch of coaches in on it and to get all their people, do like 100-person Size test pilot group.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have to use that, a challenge group guide for that. But we'll still be posting, like Bonnie and I will be posting personal messages in there, because it just makes it so much more of a community where people actually want to respond to something that you said, instead of just reading a generic post from the challenge guide.
You want to try to get engagement, and you want to try to get people to connect.
Yep.
That's
And
where they feel at home.
Pictures and videos and, you know, cartoon illustrations and animations and things like that. That's the stuff that makes them fun and engaging, not just long, drawn-out explanations on how to do something in the program, you know, where it's just you're reading something. That's when they seem to get pretty boring and dry.
And get creative.
Yeah, and on that note, I also want to do, I'm going to do a quick screen share here, guys, for the new coaches. I just want to show them something. Hold on one second here. So if you are a new coach, like Bon and Shannon were saying, the challenge group guides are located in your back office. So if you're a new coach and you're saying to yourself, well, God, how do I even start a challenge group? Like, I've never done this. I don't know what to post. These challenge group guides are found in your back office. So when you go to your Coach Online office, you come up here to Sales and Marketing, Business Tools. Okay, and once you're into the Business Tools, what's this doing? Okay, here we go. Over here on the left side, Beachbody Challenge Tools, Beachbody Challenge Group Guides. So when you click on Beachbody Challenge Group Guides, there they are. For every program that Beachbody offers, there's a challenge group guide. There's actually a participant starter guide, a coach starter guide, and then the weekly coaching guide. These are all self-explanatory. So for any program, you can click these on and learn about what you're going to do and what you're going to post. Now, the one that they also have in here is called the multi-program challenge group guide. So if you're thinking about a group that's going to allow anybody to do any program, well, then you would want to pull up the multi-program challenge group guide. But more importantly, personalize. Like, don't just copy and paste those guides. You can, but it's going to be dry and boring. If you get into other challenge groups, like, you know, get into one of Shannon's groups or one of Bonnie's groups or a challenge group in your upline, get into a challenge group and see how it's being done and copy some of the posts that they're using. This is how coaches are doing it. They're coming in, they're setting up their first challenge groups and going, okay, I think I know what I'm doing, but heck, to get really good at it fast, let me jump into somebody else's challenge group that's already rocking, and I can just take ideas and posts that they're using and do the same thing in my groups.
I love having my coaches in there like flies on.
Yes.
They absorb. Dawn Stike has done that, and she's in all my groups, and she's got a couple of really good successful challenge groups just because she's been doing that.
It's like being a fly on a wall and seeing how they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. Bonnie and Shannon, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? I mean, it's great information, and it's very, very helpful for coaches to see that and understand how these groups work. But I think we would all agree that the most exciting part about it is that it's your own business.
Yeah.
You can get as creative as you want. You don't have to follow the mold of somebody else. You can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this. I want to create a group that's called this, and I want to target this type of person, and whatever it may be.
And if you have questions, by all means, look for us, message us, and ask us, because you know, we use our creative juices all the time, because we don't want to call that group the Body Beast group. You know, we want to call it something catchy and something, you know, different. So, and if you have questions, if you want to get in our challenge groups and just sit there and scroll through and say, oh, this is how you do it, let us know. And another tip that we want to tell you is please find a success partner.
Yes.
Because it makes everything better. It just makes everything better.
That's just reaching out to somebody, anybody that's in this team or another team. It doesn't matter. Just somebody that's looking for an accountability partner as a coach.
Right.
to hold each other accountable to the things that you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to start a challenge group on August 10th, well, then have an accountability partner to make sure you're going to do that. You don't fall off the horse. So, but yeah, you feed off each other, and it's great to, especially starting out, it's great to have a success partner. Right? Does anybody have any other questions or anything they want to ask? We're good? Okay. So we've got one more hangout, and I will get into some dialogue and education in the coming days about how to share the coach opportunity. You might be a brand new coach or somebody that's maybe been coaching for a while, and you're saying, God, I'd like to recruit more coaches to my team. Well, we know that the organic way to do it is through challenge groups. Your best coaches often start out as customers in your challenge groups. They become the product of the product. They get it. They know how this works. But there are some people, and this is how I built my business in the beginning when I became a coach. I started reaching out to so many people that I knew to say, hey, look, this is a relatively new opportunity in the world of health and fitness. And it's still a relatively new opportunity in the world of health and fitness. So don't forget about that. This is something that's still being born to the world. This concept of not having to have any certifications or great education or any great background in health and fitness to become a coach. And all that means in the world of Team Beachbody is that you really care about people, and you're going to hold them accountable and create a motivating cyber team of people that can come together and feel like, man, I'm part of something that's keeping me accountable to my health and fitness. That's all you have to be willing to do. And so that's a relatively new opportunity. There are people out there that would love to be doing something different, perhaps in addition to their full-time jobs, where for 1 hour a day, they can be getting healthy and fit themselves, but also helping others do the same, and they can make some supplemental income. Nothing wrong with sharing that coach opportunity. And that's what we do. We have regular coach opportunity webinars. I try to present them on behalf of the team. And I will be doing that in the future. I'll set a date. But it's also great for you to share the coach opportunity. So if you ever need somebody to perhaps get on the phone to talk to them about what this opportunity is, because you're still not comfortable, tie in a 3-way call with either the sponsoring coach who signed you up, or reach out to your upline diamond or star diamond. That's me. In many instances, I'd be more than happy to do a 3-way call with anyone that wants to talk to somebody about the coach opportunity. Well, I'll share some more education and videos you can watch about how do I even talk about this opportunity and explain it to people, because I know that can be kind of hard to do, especially when you're starting out. All right. We have one more hangout next week. And then I have some exciting news that I just confirmed today. On Tuesday, July 28th, I'm going to have Julie Voris speaking to our team. Yeah, she is phenomenal. She's a 15-star diamond, so I connected with her, and we were able to nail down that date. It's 99% set. She's just got to clarify one other thing. But this person is so dynamic and inspiring. She's also going to be speaking at Summit. So we'll have Julie Voris speaking to our team in a Zoom hangout on Tuesday, July 28th. But I'll put up the information on the team page and stuff.
Great.
Once it's confirmed, all right?
That's great.
I love it.
Good stuff,
Awesome.
guys. All right. Thanks for being here. It's been recorded, and one more hangout next week. But, keep up the engagement and the education, because I think we're off to a really great start, and people are starting to see some numbers. I see in the tracking sheet. Shannon, thank you for recreating that document. Yeah, it's just so much better. That was a great thing to do. All right. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, how you doing? See you guys soon. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
I know.
Bye.
Bye.